Unmute me!
Listen to me, you whining little whelp.
From the Gettysburg Tour Studio.
Hey everyone, it's Cameron.
Shut up!
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg Today.
There's no time. Hello, exactly.
Oh my God! They're taking this out. Oh, it's so unnatural, and this is going to look horrible, and this is bad, and how can they do that? That looks slippery, and this looks bad, and that's a bad color, and oh my God.
Get out of here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is today's version of Gettysburg. What is the town? What is this show called? I'm having a stroke. What are we? Addressing Gettysburg today.
We give up.
We're going home. Good night, everybody. It's December 20th. No, October 20th.
Yeah.
I'm tired, man. I've been tired for no reason.
Did you mention it's Thursday?
It's Thursday also.
It is.
We normally do this on Friday,
we're
except
off
for when we
Friday.
have something to do Friday. Both, let's see, Ronnie has something going on. I have something top secret going on. What are you doing again?
So the Harrisburg Civil War Roundtable,
That's
it
right.
is this Friday. So one of the new members, thanks to Mark Blanchard. His presentation last.
So thanks for effing up my show, Mark. So now one Friday a month at least, we're going to have to do a Thursday show because you have Roundtable.
Yeah.
Unless it's something you can. Oh no, you can't because you're. Oh no, wait, you're not treasurer there.
No.
Okay.
I'm just there to learn.
Some of us are here to
Socialize.
learn. Yes. Okay. Well, good. All right. Well, so that's why we're doing it today. So, ladies, what is this? The third? What are we on? No, the fourth. Fourth Thursday or fourth week of the month.
How can it be the fourth? Wait a minute.
Because last week was the third Saturday we had to get out of the car tour.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
see a little bit of word problems.
Deduct-
Was that word problem? I don't know. But anyway.
No, it's the third Thursday. Saturday was the first of the month, so that's why last was,
Oh, yeah, okay,
So it
that
is
throws off the whole
third
thing.
Thursday.
All right, well, again, Catholic school math failing me.
Wait a minute.
Okay, well, whatever.
Anyway,
So
whatever.
one Thursday a month is going to be when we have the show, at least one Thursday a month. And
Apparently the third Thursday.
apparently it's the third Thursday of each month.
Anyway.
So, yes, so that's why we're doing it today, folks. By the way, speaking of last week, we had a very pleasant turnout. First of all, the weather was gorgeous for the. All right, but we're still recording audio. So once again, the patrons get to. What happened?
Our Wi-Fi signal is shit.
Yeah. You got to go to your
There's like
hotspot. Can you go to your
100 buses
hotspot?
in the parking lot.
100 buses in the parking
there's a
lot.
whole
I
bunch of
know.
buses out there.
Every time there are buses, the Wi-Fi sucks. Every time.
It's running here.
Works. What?
It's run. I mean, I see it on my.
So I think, Erica, you're going over to your hotspot now? So we dropped some frames. All right, whatever. So we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, we had 105 people last week.
What does that make?
Well, that makes me the winner of the Price is Right rules. I had 100. Mike Lentz, I thought he was crazy. He said 107.
But he went over.
He went over.
Wah, wah.
Which is actually, I mean, I'm shocked though, because like
There was a lot going on.
I
last
thought we
week
would
again.
eke out 100.
It was a lot going on again last week. So congratulations, 'cause that's the record, right?
Yeah, and I know Lewis was worried that there was a Matt Atkinson tour going at the same time, so he was assuming that we were going to lose a lot of people to that.
The foundation had a tour.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did.
What one?
You're putting me on the spot.
Okay.
It was Fran Fayok and Rick Schroeder.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All-day event. I'm trying to think. There was something else going on. Oh, something at the seminary or something. There was something else going on. I forget. But yeah, there was quite a bit going on. But anyway,
well,
it was a good turnout.
Maybe we would have had 200 people if we didn't have that stuff going on. Who knows? Yeah. God only knows. But the point is we had 105, and that was great. Eric had 70. He chose 70 again. Remember last month he had 70. We had a big fight over the whole close without going over rules. But no, this time I won. And it was nice. It was nice to see that many people. It was a good way to end the year. We like I said, the weather was gorgeous. I mean, that was like a perfect day. What?
Thank you, Beth. It was the Spangler Farm had a medical
That's right.
symposium, so I know we lost a few of our people over there. I know Tim Matthews went to that, and
Yes.
Yeah, so-
Well, I don't think Tim's been out on any of the.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think he said that he
Yeah, he
hopes
was.
to get out next year. He has?
Yeah, last month.
Tim Matthews was on the tour last month.
Pretty sure that was Tim.
It's possible. I know he has some back problems, or
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like he doesn't get out a lot on the battlefield like that. But yeah, thank you, Beth. That's a good reminder.
So yeah, we had that awesome turnout, and that was great. So thank you to everybody who came out. Estella Beard, she won. So we did like a little awards ceremony type of thing in the beginning, which I'm going to do every October, to kind of recap the year. We gave Lewis an appreciation trophy, and I gave him the meaningless commission of a colonel in our goofy little organization here. In the tour department, I believe is what I called him. And then, of course...
Poor girlfriend got stuck carrying around the
know.
plaque the whole tour.
I know. What was that about? I saw her. I didn't notice that until like the last
There were
stop.
pictures, and she was like, like holding on to all the stuff.
So we gave...
Poor
So
girl.
we gave him like a big frame, and in the frame was like a commission paper, and a couple, and the plaque itself, and then the Colonel birds, and he gave it to his girlfriend, and I didn't realize like she was carrying it around for the full 2-hour tour, and I saw it at the end, and I said. I went over to her. I'm like, is he making you carry this around the whole time? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, why don't you put it in the car or something? You can put it in my car, like anybody's car, But whatever. She was a trooper for doing that. Yeah. That was great. There's some. Okay, so wait, what am I hearing? No, I'm hearing me.
Oh, yeah.
Who's listening to me?
Who has volume on?
You told me to turn the volume on.
Veronica.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, what a jerk!
You told me
what
to
a
turn the volume
jerk!
on. I thought I
for
turned
a
it off.
second, Veronica. My God, you've ruined the whole show now.
What a jag.
So here, there's something I want to. I think there's some confusion. If you remember a while ago, we had Bo on and Jake Busey, and Cameron didn't know Jake Busey, and we talked about a Gettysburg Christmas and how we launched a GoFundMe for it. I don't believe that we were very clear as to what that was. So let me just explain something here. The GoFundMe is not the budget. It's the marketing budget. We have investors. We could always use more, but we have investors. We have the full budget that it takes to make the film. But honestly, did you ever see a movie, Veronica? Did you ever see a movie?
Not many.
I know. You're not a big movie person.
Yeah,
Maybe I should ask somebody else.
that one's
Eric, have
gonna
you ever
sink.
seen a movie?
Once or twice.
Okay. And have you seen this movie and it was just a movie you go, let's try this. And then you go, man, this was such a good movie. How come I never heard of it before? Or, man, this was such a good movie. How come it didn't do well in the box office, right?
Yeah.
Usually, the number one answer to that is marketing. They didn't have good marketing.
No.
Because a lot of
think
crappy
I've ever had
movies
this
became very
experience.
popular because of good marketing, right? So, sorry, I just,
Who was this?
I don't know.
Somebody from
Was that
Bob's
one of the
tour,
tourists?
probably, yeah. She went to have a map in case she watches the movie again.
Okay.
Fuck's
Okay.
sake.
That's
All right,
awesome.
yeah.
Everybody loves Bob.
Everybody does love Bob.
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
Oh,
and
she
everybody
was one of the people on the
from the tour.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought it was like
Like a random person. Yeah.
Because that's what
That happens too. Exactly. I know. Anyway, so it's usually bad marketing. So we're looking for the GoFundMe money will be our marketing budget. And obviously, if we can make the 100,000 we're trying to make off of that, we can do some pretty good marketing with it. If we only get less than that, whatever, we'll do with it what we can. Obviously, if we get more, we'll do more. But I think that's going to be the thing that's going to help get this movie some attention so that we can get Gettysburg some attention. And so I know that it might be, I've heard from a few people and they were like confused as to, what it was about. So the budget for the movie is already secured. We have the investors already for that. Again, we could use more if you want. I know there are some people who contacted us about investing. That is different from the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is not an investment. There are investments that you can make in it, and I can put you in touch with Bo if you're interested in that. So just send me an email, matt@addressinggettysburg.com.
What kind of royalties do you think $5 would get me?
How about let's see, 0.000000005% probably.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, if this goes gangbusters and it becomes $1 billion movie, it's going to amount
Might
to
make
about
your money back.
Yeah, you might. You might. Okay, but we can't guarantee that. No, but yeah. So that's the thing there. So if you go to GoFundMe and you search, GoFundMe. What bothers me is like there's no Patreon. I can say become a member at patreon.com/addressing Gettysburg. Very easy. It's not GoFundMe / a Gettysburg Christmas. It's like GoFundMe.com/852-5-ABC. So you got to go to GoFundMe, search a Gettysburg Christmas. You'll find it, and donate what you can, if you will, and help us market that. Of course, we're going to help market it through the show. And, we're trying to make it a grassroots thing. So any kind of sharing that you can do of the link and talking it up, ladies especially, because I know a lot of ladies love like Hallmark Christmas movies. But that's essentially what we're doing here. And
I don't think that's even essential.
I don't think that really helps the marketing.
What you're doing.
it is.
But that's what we're doing. So come on.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and so if you like that kind of movie and you love Gettysburg, then this is something that you might want to get behind and you might want to share. Of course, those of you who remember The $6 Million Man, remember Lee Majors, he'll be in it. Those of you who remember all the movies that Cam has never seen, Jake Busey will be in it. You're going to see some of your favorite places around town, maybe even places in the area that you've never seen or heard of before. And the rest of the world gets to see Gettysburg in a different way, in a non-Civil War way. And I know this is a Civil War history show.
Is it?
Yeah, believe it or not. Not this particular one, but yeah, we're really a media company is really what we're trying to start here, and we want to show the world how awesome Gettysburg is in many ways. And so help us do that, please. So go to GoFundMe.com and find a Gettysburg Christmas. There you go.
Okay.
Ken, if you want to listen on headphones, you can grab a pair of headphones and listen so you can hear all the wonder or wonder at it. And then while I was at, what do you call it? Pittsburgh.
Dentist.
I was at the dentist the other day. No, when I was at the Captain Espy post last week, a very nice lady, Cindy Jones, came up to me. Well, she didn't come up to me. I came up to her. I went around to the audience and said hello and gave them stickers and like I do on the tours. And there was this nice couple there, and the woman stood right up as soon as I came over. She took the sticker, took my hand, and she said, "It is such an honor to meet you." And I said, "Oh, pshaw, honor. Come on. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say." And she handed me an envelope that had your name on it, Veronica.
Yeah.
And she said, would you give this? Wait, let me cover her address there. She said, "Would you give this to Veronica when you go back?" And I said, "Well, does it have money in it?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Then yes, I'll give it to her." And so it's a little card. Do you want to read it, or do you want to?
No, yeah.
Oh, you want me to read it?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Hello, Veronica. It says, "My name is Cindy. I have only been listening to Addressing Gettysburg for less than a year. I was so excited to hear you say that you are a Westmoreland County gal. I am too. Born and raised in Harrison City, Penn Township, near Greensburg. My great-grandfather was in the 155th PA, Company B from Pittsburgh. I was hoping that we could correspond and maybe meet someday. Sincerely, Cindy Jones." That's very nice of
That is
Cindy.
so sweet. And I don't know if Cindy picked up on this, but when I still am technically a member of the Greater Pittsburgh Civil War Roundtable. I obviously don't go to the meetings. They do some Zoom stuff still. But the 155th was the monument that was our adopt-a position. And
Yeah.
It was always very nice to be able to go up and help clean up. Cindy, thank you so much. This is so cool, and absolutely will communicate. I appreciate your address, and hopefully I'll send something out pretty soon to you. And I would love to meet you sometime. And that just so sweet. Thank you.
It is
Thank
sweet.
you so
I was
much.
actually touched for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. People only gave me grief while I was out there. They're like, "Why did you say this on that show? Why did you say this on the other?" And I was like, "Well, I don't even remember saying that. I don't know. It's fly by the seat of your pants type of stuff, man." No, but they didn't give me grief. It was a great crowd. So yes.
Company B. I'm excited to learn who her grandfather was, and a little bit about him, maybe. This is really cool. Thank you so much, Cindy.
That was very nice. Thank you very much for doing that, Cindy. We appreciate everything that you all do for us and whatnot. Now, I don't think I finished talking about at the tour, Estella won Listener of the Year, right? Mm-hmm. Listener of the Year is this new thing that the Gettysburg committee, the event committee, the roadshow committee came up with. They also came up with the idea, frankly, to give Lewis the plaque. And honestly, we were trying to make him cry. Because you notice how, like, on the tours, Lewis gets choked up at certain points. And I'm like, okay, if this doesn't make him cry, then I don't know what will. And all indications are that he did not get all emotional about it. So I'm very upset about that. But whatever, we gave it a shot.
No one was tragically losing their life or anything like
yeah,
that.
I guess it has to be that.
That's kind of what does it for him,
Yeah. Aw.
But Estella seemed very surprised. She was right up front. I remember before I said it, I was looking at her, and I knew it was going to be her. But she didn't know it was going to be her. And so I'm looking at her, and she's just standing there kind of listening, rolling her eyes at things I'm saying and everything. And then I talk about Listener of the Year, and I say her name, and she honestly looked like she was surprised that she won an Oscar. And she, came up, and what we decided to do, Bill Etzkorn, I think this was his idea, is he went on Amazon and he got like a Davy Crockett coonskin cap, but it was beaver, with a big flat beaver tail on the back. So that is
Very clever.
Yeah, that is the now what I'm going to do. So here's how it works. So she's Listener of the Year for this year, and it works like Miss America. Then next year she has to hand the sash or the beaver hat over to the next Listener of the Year. What do you have to do to be a Listener of the Year? You got to engage a lot. You gotta, she buys like every new T-shirt that we have. She comes to a lot of meetings. She got us a sign. Now you don't have to you don't have to give us things or anything like that. You don't even necessarily need to buy T-shirts, but all of these things kind of go together. When they're in town, they stop by. She's very thoughtful.
Really helped develop a community. I mean, I see even on social media if somebody makes a comment, Estella's, if not the first response, she's right up in there and she's trying to put people in touch with each other if there's an answer or a question or something. I mean, she's really,
like the den mother.
She really is. Yeah.
And
she really is.
And so we appreciate that. And now, okay, so over the summer I was at the Shippensburg County Fair or Town Fair. I don't know what the hell they call it, but it was a fair. A bunch of cows and stuff, and rides for the kids and everything, and corn dogs. Anyway, so I'm there, and there was a vendor that had real animal pelts, like fox, which is very soft, beaver, and other things. And I almost bought the beaver pelt as a joke to just hang on the wall here, but it was like $150, and I'm like, I'd rather spend it on food.
Joke.
Yeah, it's an expensive joke. Well,
you can get it a lot cheaper online.
I will go real beaver pelts online. You can get.
Yeah, they're
good
not
to know.
Protected. I mean,
yeah, well, I'm not saying they were protected, but yeah. So anyway,
well, the fucking pork is. Sorry.
Yeah, the beavers on the park.
Carry on.
Mm-hmm.
So I $150 on a joke is not crazy for me. Okay, you can never go too far for a joke.
How much was the bullhorn?
Like 35, something like that.
Right,
Yeah. No. And this sat under the table for 3 years until I found a use for it.
I like where you were going with that.
But that's my point. It's like you never know, right? So you just get it and you sit there and you wait, and then finally Cam gave me gold. Anyway, so next summer, if I happen to go to this again and those vendors are there, I am going to buy the real beaver pelt because I think that would be more poignant, and then we can say that we skinned it off of a beaver that was here. But of course, it's not. I'm saying this now. It's not. We're not going to do that. That's a joke. But it'll be symbolic of the beavers here.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And look, we're going to take a break because we have a lot to get to. It's a very, very sad day here. If you were on the tour, you already know the sad news. If you weren't on the tour, but you were part of the Addressing Gettysburg private forum on Facebook, then Estella let the cat out of the bag. Our Listener of the Year let the cat out of the bag in a post that she put, I believe, on Sunday or Monday. But either way, it's okay. So we're going to tell you the very sad news when we get back. I think probably a lot of you have heard it anyway. I'll tell you now. I'll tease it. Eric, the producer, has passed. the point of wanting to live here anymore and be on the show. So we're going to we're going to talk about that a little bit with Eric, and you know, I don't know, maybe you might want to call in 717-420-1978, shed some tears, tell Eric you love him, you're going to miss him, all of that stuff. Don't give him a hard time though, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good thing for Eric. We want good things for everybody, and nothing lasts forever. So please, all of the hostility that you're about to spew, please don't do it, because that's not what we want here. Okay, we want good wishes and all that other stuff. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back and get into all that stuff. So stick around.
Want to be on the show? Send an email to info@addressinggettysburg.com. Be sure to include the reason why you think you'd make a good guest when you write us.
Bullshit.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah.
Bo Brinkman is no stranger to Gettysburg, filmmaking, or this audience. An established Texas filmmaker, Bo has held the lead and supporting roles in television and film, including the 1993 film Gettysburg and its prequel Gods and Generals. Bo has written, produced, and directed several films, often drawing his characters and storylines from his ensemble of intricate comical and emotional family tales. The Last Mark, The Bay House, and Last Man Club are among his collection, with the latter winning Best of Show, Best of Picture, Best of Film, Best Narrative Feature, and Best Dramatic Feature. Now, 30 years after the release of Gettysburg, Bo returns to the same town for his next film, A Gettysburg Christmas, and he is looking forward to your assistance in bringing the film to life. Just go to GoFundMe.com and search for A Gettysburg Christmas, or click the link in the show notes and choose your level of support.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top, just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car, and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame, because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War, with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Address in Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Address in Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
You're back with Cam's Idol.
That was years ago.
Here's Matt.
All right, so we're back. This segment is brought to you by Von Dedham & Co., makers of fine and creative leather goods from their trademark Atlas bag, which there were plenty of on last week's tour, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Von Dedham & Co. Where am I here? Designed to carry the Lano book on the battlefield to their wallets and keychains. Von Dedham & Co. is committed to making the finest leather goods around. They can't make a bad product if they tried. You know how I know? Because they can't, and I said so. Talent and craftsmanship are what set Von Dedham & Co. apart from any other Leatherman in the Civil War community. Contact them at vondeddamandco@gmail.com. That's VONDETTUMANDCO@gmail.com. Well, folks, here it is. The moment, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. Nothing lasts forever, right? I expect each and every one of you to leave eventually. I sensed Eric would go first because he's grumpy.
Tired of your shit.
He's tired of putting up with me. No, I could tell he was.
Somebody fucking said it.
I got your back.
I have such a strong personality that makes people want to move.
Yeah. At least across the state.
It's like no less than 4 hours away. But no, I just did. I just sensed it, and there were things that he said along the way, that made me go, okay, this guy's not long for this world, and by this world I mean the Addressing Gettysburg world, of course, not the world at large. Listen, I gave a little speech to Eric. So one of the things that I didn't mention before was Estella got Listener of the Year. Eric got his, Lewis got his appreciation and his hollow colonelcy. And Eric got a hollow brigadier generalship and, of course, a plaque as well, which Bill Etzkorn had made. He made both of the plaques, but he didn't proofread. And so, Eric, I'm sorry, what's the name on your plaque?
Mahoney.
Eric Mahoney, Mahooney. No name like that exists in the world.
Two extra vowels.
I mean, I've heard people mistake it for Mahoney. I mean, Bob Steen should have called you Eric Mahoney for a while. Yeah. But Mahoney is a brand new one by any of us. And I remember Bill and Cindy came by the house to get the flag. I had the commission papers put in a frame, filled them out, put them in a frame to give them to carry over to the field. And Bill's like, oh, you want to see the plaques? And I said, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I read the Lewis one first, and I'm like, oh, this is great, looks nice, And then I go to for Eric's, and, in appreciation, or whatever the hell it says, to Eric Mahoney. And I explode. I'm like, Mahoney? I start cracking up. I'm not mad, right? I'm cracking up because the story, one of the things that I think of when I think of Eric is everybody messing up his last name, as if it's like one of like a Polish name with all the consonants that don't make any sense. Yeah. Like it's Moni. How hard is that? Yeah. Mohney.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe the H is throwing people off, but whatever. Mahoney.
Maybe
I stood in my driveway, Veronica. I could hear my laugh echoing off of the buildings across the street. It was so freaking funny. But of course, we're going to get one that has the right name because, Eric cares very much about having plaques from us.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so... anyway, so I gave that before I gave it to Eric, though. I gave a speech that I wrote. Yeah. I meant to ask you to record it because I wanted to play it, here. Mainly because I wanted to see, because Eric was standing behind me and I wanted to see if he was rolling his eyes or anything like that, A couple of people snapped some pictures, and there is one point where he's jinxing me. There's another point where he's giving me the finger, and he's smoking a cigarette in his nostril. He's inhaling it through his nostril. So that was kind of weird. But I have it here. I want to read it. I want to enter it into the record, okay? Because a lot of people said it is stupid. Here we go. Wait, you know what?
So
hold on.
Let's try to prove it.
So let me prove to everybody just how stupid it is. No, wait, hold on. Let me find the proper background music for this, because of course you need music, right? You got to have that. If I can just remember where I put the sappy music, it's got to be here. Here we go. Let's try this one here. Should we go with this one? Okay, yeah, good. All right. Eric Mahoney has a beard. It is a fine beard, big and bushy. It hides things, like his weak chin. It also captures things, like our attention and pollen, fried chicken, etc. Every now and then, this beard reveals things, like that rare Mahoney smile. Today, we not only say goodbye to this beard, but we also say goodbye to a friend and an integral and vital part of this organization. Now, that's the point where I choked up and I said, oh, shit, and I caught myself, and you're like, oh, nobody cried.
Pussy.
Whatever. Yeah, you call me pussy. I don't care. I mean it, Eric.
Oh, my God. You're tearing up.
Oh, yes, I got her to cry. Jesus. I'm not even done with the speech yet. Okay, wait. Shh.
Damn,
okay,
she's not even on camera yet.
Oh, good.
Get her on camera.
No.
Just zoom in on her tears.
Stop.
When Eric emerged from the cold and misty woods on Culp's Hill during the winter of 2020.
It was relatively pleasant weather.
That's what he said during the fucking speech.
Well, you're trying to reenact it. So
okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, good. Let me start it again. When Eric emerged from the cold and misty woods on Culp's Hill during the winter of 2020, I was at first terrified as scenes from Deliverance played in my head. But by nightfall of that day, I had realized that one of my prayers had been answered. I needed help, but did not have the budget to hire help. Eric offered, asking nothing in return, instead saying that he just wanted to help. And help he did. I have not one iota of doubt that addressing Gettysburg would not be where it is today. You and I would not be standing here with so many others if Eric and his beard had never joined us. Eric has had my back in ways that I didn't ever think I needed someone to have my back. He anticipated my needs, or the show's needs, in ways I may have only anticipated when it was too late to do anything about. Eric took initiative countless times by setting up interviews, video productions, and countless other things without my involvement until the day of the event when it was needed. I could never create a right-hand man better than Eric Mahoney. My biggest regret is that I was not able to grow our revenue streams to be large enough to afford to keep him. To say, Eric, no, I will pay you more. Stay, you selfish prick. But American life is forever based on a person's pursuit of happiness. Eric and his bride, Katie, now move on to seek happiness elsewhere. And I hope they find it in droves. I hope they expand the Mahoney brood. I hope they never forget that they have friends here who love them and will miss them and hope to see them at least once a year. Katie, thank you for your patience by allowing Eric to keep the crazy hours we keep and for your butter-heavy and delicious baked goods. Eric, I will thank you for the rest of my life, and just one more token of my appreciation. I am promoting you from colonel in our organization to brigadier general, a gesture that I'm sure you will hate because you hate officers. Thank you, Eric, and good luck in the next chapter of your life. The great Matt Callery. Thank you very much, Eric, for everything. So that was the speech right there. And
okay, bye.
Eric, no, listen, I got to tell you something. The closest I ever saw him to getting emotional was the handshake he gave me. It was a firm one. It wasn't the typical, wet fish one cold fish, the one that he gives.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know how you're supposed to put your hand out like this for a handshake. Typically he does this he wants you to kiss it, but this time it was a firm handshake, like a man, and not the Queen of England.
You can never be serious about anything.
I know. Can you believe that? I've heard some of the powers that be around here don't like that. Did you know?
Oh.
Veronica, I finally got you to cry. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Was it the music?
No, it's gonna. I truly am gonna miss Eric.
Did you write a speech?
Katie. No, I have no speech. I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it until you guys
You knew that he was leaving. You could have written a speech weeks ago.
Well, I did want to tell you in person, but he kind of did it for me, so I didn't have to.
Listen, I understand. I understand where you're coming from there, Eric. But you got to understand where I'm coming from. I have a responsibility to our audience who has grown to love you. And I can't just say the day after you leave, by the way, Eric's not here anymore. I got to give them some warning to get used to it. Yeah, go ahead.
Our friend Barbara has a really good point. Facebook is universal, and live streams are universal.
Right.
Like, you don't have to be sitting in Gettysburg or Biglerville or wherever, Bendersville or wherever you live to do the live streams.
I feel like
Barbara.
I need to clear some things up.
Please.
First and foremost, I'm not dying. Neither is my wife that I'm aware of. I mean, I could be. Stop. And aren't we all really? It just depends on how fast. But secondly, I still have a Facebook account, which will be continue to be active. And like a dumbass, I'm the one that created the forum page, so I own it, and I can't separate it from me anyways. Like, I would have to just.
So you're still going to be.
So I'm still going to be involved whether I want to be or not.
But it's different than, and you could just still do your videos.
The sentiment, Barbara.
You could still do your videos from your new home, showing your leather making or talking or whatever. I'm sure people will like that. I know people like it already, so they're going to miss that. So you can still do that stuff. But as part of, it's not going to be the same around here for us, of course.
Who's going to bring the fucking candles in here?
Who's going to bring the candles? Who's going to bring the baked goods?
I open the door.
It is, yeah.
It smells like a Christmas tree in here.
Oh, it does. It's like, I think that's why I said December before, because the smell of the pine. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, this is like.
That's fucking awesome candle.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Let's see. Who's this we've got here? I think this is 6 questions. Lentz, he wants to cry. 6 questions. You want to cry about Eric for us? Oh.
No, not really.
Oh.
He's giggling with joy.
It's a maniacal giggle. Oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Joker on the phone.
This motherfucker's finally leaving.
What'd you do to Lentz?
Mike, what are you doing, Mike? Are you all right?
Oh, I think I'm fine, but I just got to call up and talk about Saturday's tour, but then this happened. So now, you don't have to read my email because I'll just say it right here.
Okay.
And I was looking forward to you saying mushy gushy. So, but
yeah,
I'll
you want
right
me to read your email, Eric, or do you want to just say it?
No, I'll just say it.
Go ahead.
It'll be fine. My voice is almost gone anyway. My voice.
Mike has the flu. Yeah. Mike has the flu, for those of you who are wondering why he sounds like an old man. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So, yeah, Eric, thank you for the hard work that you did for the show and for the community. I think more on one occasion on a tour, you kept me from either falling off a ledge or getting run over by a car.
I do what I can.
I do remember seeing a few of those.
So I appreciate that. I also really appreciate all those leather goods that you have that I've now invested in. And, man, those are going to be great for years to come. And But most importantly, I value knowledge. And I thank you for shedding light on the Pennsylvania reserves. Without you, I would not have my appreciation I do today more than if I hadn't come into contact with you. And so that appreciation will last longer than those wallets. But to be honest with you, I think not by much, because those wallets are really good quality. So
good save,
Eric. And I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for all that you did for the Dressing Gettysburg community.
Much obliged, Mike.
Thank you very much for that, Michael. I hope you feel better. He's got the influenza now, as you could hear. And I was on the phone with him earlier, and he let out a really good cough, and it sounded juicy. I was like, you want some cocktail sauce with that, Mikey?
Jesus.
Holy Lord. Mike, you... It's like a dragon. Wow.
You cooking with that lung butter?
Oh, my God. Mike, that was...
I should stop. Have a good night, guys.
All right, Mike. You take care, all right? Hey, listen, let me know if you need me to bring you anything like NyQuil or a sledgehammer to your head or something like that to knock you out so you could rest.
Yeah, sledgehammer sounds like a good idea. Okay.
All right, go rest, Mikey.
See you, Mikey.
Thank you. Holy crap. That was worse than the coffee you had earlier today. Holy Lord. Let's see here. It says, hey, it's unemployed. I'm sure that is not what you meant to say, but that's the way the talk to text interpreted it. 717, you're on the air.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm looking for a job.
Oh, Cameron.
I can take Eric's job.
Oh, Cam, you want to take... Oh, well, maybe Cam could take Eric's place. Would you like to do that, Cam?
You can't hear my window? It's open. I'm on my way to Gettysburg.
I hear it. I hear rumble strips. Are you hitting the rumble strips too?
No, I'm hitting the Buffalo.
What is happening?
It's
here?
Cameron calling to say goodbye. Actually, he's not even saying goodbye. He just wants to jump right in your grave. He wants the job.
Hi, how do I want that job in Gettysburg?
Well, I mean, it'll get you close to working at the park, I guess.
It'll give you something to do while you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, this is Ray. This isn't really Cameron. Oh, man, you got me again, Ray.
I just want to say good luck in whatever Eric does. We're going to miss him.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much for that, Ray. Thank you very much. And we'll see. I'm sure you'll be back, Eric, right? You're not going to stay away forever. You'll come down on occasion. I mean, you're going to come to the Christmas party in December?
We'll see what happens.
Okay. He's such a man of mystery.
It's all right. Keep him guessing, Eric.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's going to keep you guessing, too.
If not,
I'm part of them.
if not, I'll visit him and come up to see the elk.
I'm sorry. Say that again, Ray. You broke up a little.
I said, if not, we'll see him in Elk County when I come up to see the elk.
There you go.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not a very big place.
We'll have to make maybe a field trip up there to go look at the elk and have Eric be our elk guide.
I'm looking forward to lunch.
Oh, elk lunch. Oh, at the cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking. Maybe we could eat. Is elk meat
I know where you're going.
ubiquitous down there? Up there?
No. I mean, you can get it at different places, but it's not like
everybody eats it.
No.
Really? I'd be eating the hell out of that stuff. That's so much better.
You have to cook it right. Like if you don't cook it the right way, like any kind of venison.
There's a place down on
it's
97.
Really gamey and gross.
Yeah, there's a place down on 97 called Bud's, and they have elk chops. They're delicious. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Where's 97? By Union?
97 is this road right here, but it goes down to Westminster.
Yeah, Union Mill, like Bud's at Silver Creek or something.
Yeah. It's right on that bend.
I drive past that every time
Yeah.
we go to the casino.
We'll go in there next time and eat. It's
Not
really
having
good.
Elk patties or whatever.
No. They got other stuff too. I had the elk. No, it's really good food. Like it's like
check it out.
There's a guy in Elk County that raises elk for
makes sense
for meat.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Excuse me.
Ray, I got to let you go so we can get the other callers in here. But thank you for the call. And you got me again. I really thought that was Cam.
Okay, no problem.
All right, bud. I'll talk to you later. See you on Remembrance Day weekend.
Yep. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right. Let's see. Let's take one more call, and then we'll do some other stuff here. Is this Jeff?
Hey, this is Jeff.
Is this...
Yes. That's what he meant to say.
So is that a yes? Okay.
What's going on?
Jeff, how are you?
Oh, hey, Jeff.
I've been on a roller coaster of emotion because I first signed on. I'm like scrolling, driving home, and then Mike Lentz says we're saying our goodbyes to Eric, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me!
Right?
Weren't you?
Well, I'm so happy that you're not dead.
He's very happy that he's not. Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
That's Jeff right there. So Jeff, yeah. So
that's what it felt like.
That it did. It was painful to learn that, right? And you didn't know ahead of time, right? On the tour that he was leaving.
No, I was just so genuinely happy to see him.
Right, and then now that's the last time you'll ever see him.
I don't think Jeff was there for the very beginning, maybe.
Yeah, what is...
I don't think he missed...
Did you show up late,
What
Jeff?
is the 30-second elevator pitch?
What?
Of what's going on with Eric?
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
Other places.
He wants to be a cheerleader.
I'm gonna miss you, man.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
I will say that it makes me feel good that I wasn't the only person that wanted to pretend to be Cam when I called. But the caller before me did it.
What would you have said if you did pretend to be Cam?
There's this girl down in my holler kissing the boys beneath the neck. Bro, you wouldn't know what they're doing.
Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
Is that a good one?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, brother.
All right, so...
all right, I love you guys.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. We love you as well. And thank you for your goodbye to Eric. And thank you for coming to the tour last week.
Yes. Awesome tour.
All right.
Well done.
Yes, it was a very nice tour. Alderson Broderson to you, my friend.
Alderson Broderson.
All right, talk to you later.
See you, Jeff.
All right, so as Mike mentioned before, he sent an email and he got it through the call, but other people sent emails. Now, I put a post on Patreon. I said, let's say goodbye to our fuzzy friend Eric, and I said, so if you want to send him well wishes or whatever, email him eric@addressinggettysburg.com. So today when I got here, Eric goes, did you put something on Patreon? And I go, why? Did you get a bunch of emails? He goes, yeah. And I go, yeah, I did. And I said, send them to me so I could read them on the show. Hey, of course, Eric doesn't like pomp and circumstance. He doesn't like a fuss made over him. Whereas I like to make a fuss over the people I love, right? I like, birthday, going away, whatever it is. So, I put a post on Patreon about an hour before the show, and I said, hey, if you send an email to Eric, copy and paste it and send it to me because Eric won't share it with me because it makes him cry. Okay, then of course that's a lie. Yeah. But so immediately I start getting boom, 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 one after the other. So I don't know if I got them all. I'll have to check here. But let me just give you some here. Eric, I know your style is to not get all mushy, so I will keep this short and sweet. F off. No,
Fair
just
enough.
kidding. I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversations. My favorite would be going out on the first day's field and talking about the Bucktails and the Color Guard episode. You will be missed, but never forgotten. See you later, Stephen Byers. Hi, Eric. Just wanted to reach out and say thank you for all you have done for the show. I remember meeting you and Matt when I stopped into town, and you were nothing but kind to me during our Culps Hill tour. For you to meet a random stranger and make it the highlight of my year, it means a lot. Do you hear that, Eric? Highlight of his year. I appreciate all the work you have done on and behind the scenes for the show. I hope your future endeavors are successful, and thanks for all you have done. All the best, John Reynolds. A ghost. You finally. Okay, now I believe in ghosts. You got a ghost to write in. By the way, interesting. Stephen Byers was first, and John Reynolds was second. Stephen Byers is actually related to the General John Reynolds, and so that's kind of just a twist of fate there. I am pretty new to the Patreon family, but I've listened to Addressing Gettysburg for quite some time now, and just want to thank you for what you and Matt do on the show. Very well produced show that provides great content as well. Oh, Eric, just what happened? Are you all right?
Yeah.
What was that?
I dropped the lid for my.
Oh boy. Thank God it wasn't the candle, right? This tinderbox would be gone in a second. Very well produced show that provides great content as well as a great dynamic that makes the overall experience exceptional and what inspired me to become a patron. Eric inspired him to become a patron. You will be missed for sure. So now I'm going to lose patrons now. Thank you, Eric. You will be missed for sure, but you have helped set a foundation and a fan base that will continue for a long time to come. Well wishes for your future. And last but not least, thank you for your service, which Eric loves when people say that. Dustin Wise. That's interesting. I dated a girl whose last name was Wise for like 20 seconds. I'm glad I got to meet you a few times. I wish you well, and you'll be missed very much. That's Kevin Randolph. Kevin Randolph from Texas. Of course, we all remember Kevin. He got his foot burnt on the East Cavalry Field Tour last year. And Eric, by the way, when I got off the bus, Eric was attending to his burnt foot. The hero of Route 15, we call him. Here's a simple one, short but sweet, but you can't expect anything better from this man who is pithy, to say the least. Sorry to see you go. Ralph Siegel. Let's see here. I look forward to every episode of Addressing Gettysburg, and I'm so thankful for your contributions to making them happen. I had no idea that when I started nerding out on Gettysburg, I would find a community of like-minded people, and you were instrumental in making that happen. Also, thanks for the cigarettes I bummed last winter at Sweeney's Tavern for Tim Smith's lectures. I'm like 94% sure I still owe you at least a pack. Sincerely, David Heisel. Eric, I want to take a moment to drop you a note to say thanks and good luck. I know we've only interacted a couple times, but I always felt like you treated me more like an acquaintance. Is that good?
I maybe.
Usually an acquaintance is like a step down from a friend. Okay, well, whatever. Maybe that's a step up for him. I wish you and the family nothing but happiness as you move on. If you ever find yourself in the Hampton Roads area, at least until I move to Gettysburg, please let me know. Andy, the Peanuts delivery boy, Smithfield, VA. We have some of those peanuts. He just drops them off today. So thank you for those, Andy.
There's just a different hierarchy of friendship in Virginia.
I guess, yes.
It's good.
Well,
it's not,
that's that old aristocracy.
Everybody knows what he means.
I know.
Genuinely, like, just
you weren't. In other words, Eric wasn't treating him like he was just some fan. You know, he was treating him like he was an acquaintance of his. Matt, so sad Eric is leaving. His always positive attitude was always one of the best parts of the show, and will surely be missed. I think the only person who will be happy about him leaving is the guy who complained about his obnoxiously loud flip-flops on the battlefield.
I still maintain that band was not wrong. I found them to be obnoxious, and they were on my feet.
You know, even when I watched it after that, I saw that guy's comment. I'm like, that's not that bad. I was expecting it to be really loud. Anyway,
I focused right in on
somebody said earlier, who will be brave enough to wear flip-flops and drown out the audio with Eric gone?
Godspeed to whoever.
Best wishes to him and his family in their new endeavors. Mike Bozio. I think it's Bozio or Bozio. I don't know. Woburn, Massachusetts. Is it Woburn or Woburn? There's two R's in there. It might be a typo. Anyway.
Woburn, maybe?
My heart was saddened to hear of your departure from AG. I have enjoyed the back and forth between you and Matt. Your personalities complement each other, and you both seem to love the exchange. Whatever is in your future, I wish you and your family the best of everything. Thank you for all the hard work you're bringing, bringing AG to what it is today. Sorry that I have not had the privilege of meeting you and shaking your hand. Best wishes, Cindy Jones. That's Veronica's new pen pal. Yeah. Eric, good luck as you embark on this new chapter of your life. As I'm sure you've heard many times over in the last couple of days, the show and its patrons will miss you. Your historical perspective and insights were definitely one of my favorite parts of the show. I guess the things I will miss most are the awesome Facebook Live sunrises. Yes, you will miss those because I'm not getting up that early. The only reason Eric was able to do it is because he typically can't fall asleep, right? Is that right, Erica? Like you're kind of like...
Yeah, usually when I went out to do sunrise, it was like because I hadn't slept in 20 hours.
Right, you were really bored and you're like, let me go just do the sunrise. But you know what? Someone will do them at some point, I'm sure. The sunrises we used to get from you on frosty winter days and early spring greens, the sultry summer mornings on the battlefield covered in morning mists. Hope you get to visit from time to time. Godspeed and huzzah. Sincerely, Philip May, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see here. Oh, there's more. Here's our buddy Louis Trott. I'm chasing kids and never able to listen live, but wanted to say I'll miss Eric very much. He's about as genuine a fellow one could hope to ever meet. He's a miserable son of a bitch. But no, he didn't say it. And he's an old
Well, he
soldier.
should've.
I'll always honor that. Take care, Eric. I wish you and Katie, hope that's how she spells it, the very best. Lewis Trott, of course. Thank you, Lewis. Stephen Lunsford says, Eric, you will be greatly missed from the Addressing Gettysburg podcast, whether through your witty one-liners to the Pennsylvania Reserve references. I thoroughly enjoyed interviewing on my podcast and hearing some of the behind-the-scenes adventures of the AG. You are very passionate about the common Union soldiers of the Civil War and the courage and sacrifice by them, especially on the hallowed ground of Gettysburg, and it shows in your enthusiasm for history. God bless you in your future endeavors. Again, Stephen Lunsford's Civil War Regiments podcast. Check that podcast out if you haven't, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
He does a good job.
Yeah, our buddy Amanda Clow, she says, Eric, thank you for all you have brought to the table for the podcast. Your late night lives and sunrises will be missed by all. Stay grumpy. You will be missed. Don't be a stranger. Amanda, stay grumpy. Oh, God. And that's all I have sent to me here. I wanted to read them all. And let's see. Wait, we got one more person here. So let's talk to Cliff out in California. Or unless this is Cameron, too. I don't know. Cliff, are you there?
I am here.
Hi, Cliff. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I just didn't get a chance to email in, so I wanted to send Eric my best and, wish him well on his journey, to new regions.
Much obliged, man. Unfortunately, you're going to have to find another
Yeah,
parking
totally,
space
man.
for your cannon.
You could park your cannon in my back, my spot.
Okay. Sounds good. But hey, seriously, when I came out there a couple of years ago, I just dropped by the bike shop and I asked if it was the visitor center, and you gave me that look. And I was like, I like this guy.
A love affair began.
Yeah. No, you totally invited me in and just like, hey, man, come in. Let's hang out. I was like, oh, dude, awesome. So, hey, man, I've liked our friendship so far, and thank you for what you've done for the show. And seriously, man, good luck.
Well, thanks, Cliff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was very nice of you to say
totally.
there, Cliffy.
I'll let
Thank
you guys
you.
get back to it.
All right, Cliff, you have a good one.
All right, see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you too, buddy.
All right.
We'll see you.
Goodbye, Toby. It's been nice. Hope you find your paradise.
Don't tell him I said this, but I always thought he was kind of cute.
Oh, Veronica.
What the hell is happening?
I thought Eric was kind of cute. That was a little Michael Scott singing Goodbye, Toby there. All right, so let's see. Let us take a break, and then we're going to come back with Ronstadt's news. A lot of stuff going on. Of course, the biggest news, naturally, you already know this, is, Eric Money is leaving the show, and Veronica cried.
That means the end of the show.
That means the show is over.
This is like, nobody realizes that shit's going to fall apart without Eric here.
Can we talk about that after the break? Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. It was a nice run.
It was, yeah, exactly. It's done. Stick a fork in it, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll talk about that when we come back for the news. Because you're right. I didn't want to say that, but you're absolutely right. And I'll tell you why Eric's wrong when he shakes his head no. And we'll be right back.
It would be a good time to get up and stretch. Blood clots are deadly. We'll be back.
You sexist bitch. Otterburn.
Ever wanted to be a part of a movie production? Well, now is your chance. Hope Kelly is still struggling with heartache several years after her abrupt, life-changing decision to buy an apple farm outside the small town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. But the loneliness of isolation gradually replaced the peace she initially found on the farm. Sent reeling when her fiancé left her for another woman before a previous Christmas, Hope has sworn off Christmas and relationships. But when her brother Ryan's old army buddy Nick shows up to the farm and is immediately taken with Hope, the temperature starts to rise. Still, it will take a Christmas miracle in the form of Charlie to help mend Hope's heart and allow her to trust again and find love. Join writer, producer, and director Bo Brinkman in the production of A Gettysburg Christmas with named talents like Jake Busey and Lee Majors. The script has tailored scenes to shoot at specific locations to highlight the beauty, history, and capture the Christmas spirit of Gettysburg with the goal of inspiring viewers to visit in droves. Those of you who have been wanting renting another movie to revitalize interest in visiting our awesome town have finally gotten your wish. And now you can be a part of getting this project off the ground. Bo and company are turning to you, the citizens of Gettysburg and the lovers of Gettysburg, to make this grassroots effort work. No Hollywood BS, just pure Christmas joy and romance. Just click the link in the show notes to get started, or go to GoFundMe.com and search for A Gettysburg Christmas.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. Isn't it, Eric?
You're darn tootin', Matt.
It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more books to choose from.
But Matthew, what if the Civil War is simply not my thing?
Not a problem, my fine four-fendered friend. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books.
It's astounding how they squeeze thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more into their store.
And it's also astounding how you and I both squeeze into our pants every day. Well, handsome, they have a warehouse too, and that's where they keep all those books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs.
What if I prefer to browse in the store and don't want to go online to get my book?
Great question, Doodlebug. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, stop by 42 York Street, or call 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
Need a core badge or other insignia for your uniform? Then check out the Badge Maker. Here's what some of his satisfied customers had to say. Miranda said, "I ordered an identification disc from Joe and it's fantastic. He hand stamped it exactly as I wanted. It has a great rough on-campaign feel to it and was reasonably priced to boot." Greg said, "My unit has purchased from him in the past. Quality badges and good service." And Jerry S. says, "The Badge Maker is the go-to place for accurate replica Civil War badges. Visit CivilWarCoreBadges.com and attach a message with your order saying you heard about him on Addressing Gettysburg."
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention Addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay. This special episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott, narrator of Savas Beatty's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia, and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com. Hey, a full minute, so let me ask you an important question. Isn't it about time that John Burns' Hero of Gettysburg became an audiobook? Sickles has an audiobook. You know Jenny Wade is going to deserve an audiobook. Let's give John a shot. Get in touch, Tim. That's MikeScottVoice.com. I'm Mike Scott, your voice of history.
And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own. Hey, Gettysburg business owners. Winter is just around the bend, and you know what that means. No tourists. But just because people aren't coming to you doesn't mean you can't bring your business to them. If you ship, you're still in the game. And if you're a seasonal business, the time to advertise for your next season is in the off-season when people are making their plans. So what's an affordable yet highly effective way of reaching those people? Well, it's not radio. It's not TV, and it's certainly not print. Step out of the Jurassic era of advertising and run an ad on Addressing Gettysburg. We just reached 1 million downloads, and we're growing by the tens of thousands every month. Beyond that, our audience is happy to support those who support their favorite podcast. So email sales@Addressing Gettysburg for more information about advertising on our show. We look forward to helping your business grow. Gettysburg.com.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery.
Sprayed with potassium sorbate to prevent mold growth. You're back with Matt and Veronica.
All right. Ay, Dios mío, encanto mi amor. Bailamos en la cocina. En la cocina. I don't know.
How am I going to make faces about you?
Oh, believe me, we'll find somebody who despises me as much.
Corner like, Eric, help. What is going on with Matt?
I know, that's the problem, is that
What's wrong with this guy?
some of the people who have volunteered to try to fill his very big shoes, they don't have the disdain for me that he does. And I think that a lot, I went back and I listened to all the episodes we ever did together. Not once did Eric compliment me on anything ever. And that to me is what makes a good
friend.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
keeping you grounded, man.
Yeah. A good producer, keeps you grounded there, and let everybody else say the nice things, and he'll be like, okay, they're full of shit, right? And I'll be like, okay, I didn't know that, but but no, yeah.
Well,
but like you were.
do.
What?
Well, now you do.
But like you were saying, Ronstadt, the show will fall apart after this. A lot of people, and that's why, Eric, I'm saying this while you're still here, because I want people to see, the decline of the show in the next 2 weeks or so.
Somebody to blame.
We're gonna have to exactly. We have to blame someone. I mean, really, look, we'll be honest here, okay? Before Eric came along, I did everything. Then Eric came along, and he took a lot of stuff off of my plate that allowed me to focus more on the actual product, which is the show, and all that crap. Now I got to take that back. I got to do the scheduling, which I hate. I hate doing the scheduling, and I've been doing it the last couple months, and I'm already sick of it. It just drives me nuts. For example, I'll give you an example here. We did a show. We recorded it last night. And it's coming out on November 19th. It's about the Gettysburg Address. It is not about the event. It's not about the dedication. It's about the speech itself, right? We break it down. We have two very learned scholars on the subject on the show. And friend Fiak, it was his idea. And so he got, it's Jared Pietman, who we met at the Civil War Institute conference. He did the talk on the 20th Maine.
Oh, yeah.
If you recall, I think you guys went and recorded it, and I was interviewing somebody else. So. And Doug Dowds. Now, Doug was a speechwriter, and Jared wrote a book about it. And so
Jared Frederick.
No,
Jared Pietman.
Jared Pietman.
Jared Frederick
he's all the way out in Penn State.
But didn't he, he did
Altoona.
something about the cemetery. I don't remember. Maybe I wasn't there for that. Sorry, I don't.
I thought you went and recorded him. Didn't Veronica go with you? I thought you both went together. Well, I interviewed someone else. Well, anyway, I mean that whole weekend was a blur. Anyway, so we had them on and everything. And so I think it was this episode. It might have been another because there's a few episodes that we're working on with Fran, and there's several other people involved. And but the point is, there's a group email going back and forth, and dates, and this date's good for me, but not at this time. This date's good for me, but not at that time. And meanwhile, I'm like answering those while I'm editing a show, and I just can't. And I go, you know what? I'm going to deal with that later. And then of course I forget it, and then the email just dies because I haven't responded and everybody's waiting on my response. And so I already remember why I hate it and why Eric was such a huge help to me. Yeah. That alone, taking that off of my shoulders was an enormous help. And we were able to grow to what we are now because of Eric's help.
Right. No,
not because of Eric, but because of his help.
Everybody understands that. Absolutely. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and a lot of that was done by Eric. And I mean, I know we're all sitting around joking and everything like that, but it is legit that I think it's going to be tough sledding for a little while. I think. My role here is very ancillary just for this show.
Well,
alone,
it might have to be a little more involved now.
I
mean, as soon as he said, "Oh, I'm leaving," I was like, "Oh
my gosh, what do I do?"
And then I just ran into a wall. No, I was like, okay, well, look, I've done this before, but it wasn't as big. See, that's the thing. I was like, oh, this is fine. I've done it. What the hell keeps falling?
There is a ghost.
What is it?
My phone.
What is your phone? What's happening? There is a ghost. Okay, so it's going to be tough. And the thing is too is
something as simple as I shouldn't say simple because it's not. I don't know how to do it. But when people are watching the live stream, switching cameras doesn't happen automatically. Like
Eric's
is
doing
here doing that and answering comments, and there's a lot of
stuff. Checking my Facebook.
Checking his Facebook. I know. Sometimes he was sewing
very
leather.
Good multitasker.
Yeah, he is.
And
I've been saying to people, like, it's going to take at least 2, probably 3 or more people to replace Eric.
Sure. We're not going to get people that are going to come in here like Eric and give freely of his time.
No,
and not expect.
It was a huge help, and it's and not that he would feel bad by me saying this, and this isn't to make him feel bad, but it's going to be a big handicap for a while, without him. Luckily, I have some shows in the can with Eric, so it's going to be a while. Now, Addressing Gettysburg Today is the one that you're going to notice right away when he's gone. But there's going to be some of the history shows that still have him on it from, days when he was here. So, don't fret. It's not going to be so sudden, but, look, we will survive. Like the great American philosopher Gloria Gaynor told us, I will survive.
We'll see. Just kidding.
You'll all be fine, for God's sake.
I don't know, Eric. I don't know. I mean, I don't want this to make you reconsider moving. I want you to,
it's not.
Figured we were wasting our time.
Yeah, I know. Stupid.
I mean, I haven't really been paying attention most of the time.
I know. He's like, can we just go? This segment is brought to you by our new sponsor, 82 Cafe, located on Steinway Avenue across from the Dobbin House. Use promo code Hancock next time you go in for 10% off, or when you order online at raggededgerc.com. New sponsor, 82 Cafe.
I love their hot chocolate.
Listen,
I'm not a coffee drinker, but their hot chocolate is like legit. They make it. It's not just like the syrup in the bottom.
No, I know. It's like real chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I've been going in there recently, and that's what I get too, is because I'm not. This is my first cup of coffee in over a year, maybe 2 almost. Because I'm dragging ass, man. I don't know what it is, but I'm so weak and tired lately. It's strange. I don't know what it is, but I hope
I'm
it's
writing
nothing
down
serious.
the promo code because we will be putting
Hancock.
that bad boy to use pretty
Yeah,
soon.
and I'm glad 82 came on because a lot of our listeners love 82 Cafe. They go there all the time. It's part of, like last week, Karen was here from Minnesota, and Bill and Cindy were here, and Donnie was here, and who else? Our friend Ty Harris, who hadn't been here in a while, he was here. All of these people, and I'm sure more that I'm unaware of, go to 82 Cafe as part of their Gettysburg ritual. Like they get up in the morning, typically they stay at 1863, and they walk down to 82, get their coffee, and start their day. And it's part of it. And then I know some people who don't live here and don't get here often, they order their coffee online.
Right.
By the way, something we're working on for next year, our own line of coffee, addressing Gettysburg coffee, and also chocolates. Chocolates.
Whoa.
Yeah, but possibly chocolate.
I mean, if anything was going to make me reconsider leaving, it was coffee. But you fucking told me too late.
Wait,
this is a new
conjunction?
development.
This is in conjunction with 82 Cafe?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have
That's
to
cool.
iron out the details, but we talked about it like very superficially. Talked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we could do that, absolutely." So we're gonna say. We're going to have to come up with our own blend. I might have to get back to coffee drinking just to taste the blends, or just rely on people who are coffee connoisseurs.
I've never acquired a taste for it, but if they go down the iced tea route, I promise I will be.
Well, maybe we can go down the hot chocolate route too.
That's
Maybe
fine.
make
Yeah, I don't need an
make a
excuse
hot
there.
chocolate powder that you can get or something, and we'll have our own flavoring. I don't know. We'll have to see. I realize in order for this to grow into the bigger things that I want it to be, like property purchasing type things for people to come to and do things on, I need to have more revenue streams, and eventually in investors. But, little baby steps, right?
Yep.
What, Eric? Now you're thinking of staying? Listen.
Absolutely not.
Listen, you're always listening.
Space that used to be the thrift store.
Yeah, I was looking at
thrift
that and I
shop
thought
or
that'd be a
thrift
great
store.
studio.
I mean, a studio would be actually kind of cool. I thought about that too, because like sometimes you see like big cities you see, but I was thinking more like a breakfast spot. I wonder if you could turn that into. It's a fairly big
major
space.
tailors.
I don't know how far back it goes, but
It goes deep enough that you could put a kitchen in there, but there's not a kitchen in it now.
No, we'd have to put a whole kitchen in. That means the proper flooring and drainage and all
that
the
sounds
equipment.
like a project you could work
Oh,
on.
maybe Eric can come back for that and decide to stay and maybe just not leave in the first place. See, Eric doesn't
Maybe
believe
not.
people love him.
Katie?
Eric thinks that and Katie can do her baked goods
Yeah.
there in a
Gettysburg
serve-safe
Baking
kitchen.
Company, who?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. They're awesome too.
Yeah,
But
I love
Katie
their
would be-
mushroom soup.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, we're
all
trying.
right, we're trying to. Eric doesn't believe people care that he's here. He thinks he could just leave and no one would give a flying fart, but that's not true. That's not true. And we all.
I mean, people will notice for like 2 weeks, and then not so much.
I don't know, Eric. Here's the thing: who's going to be the curmudgeonly old man, right? And you can't say, okay. Ken Phillips sitting here. Let's say, hey, Ken, you're going to be Eric, and you have to be the grumpy old man, right? Yeah. Ken can't do that. No. Ken's not really grumpy. A lot of people think Eric was acting. This is Eric. He's really a grumpy old man. It's
true.
But he's 35. What are you, 37?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The youngest
he's
of
the
all three
youngest
of
of
us,
all
yeah.
of us, but he's the oldest in many ways. And
certainly the angriest.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, people thought that was a joke. And it wasn't. And that's what I think made it so good,
Yeah.
So now who's going to be the straight man? Who's going to be the Martin to my Lewis? I don't know. You.
Can't.
No. But you're like the, who's a funny woman? Is there a funny woman out there? Who was it like tag team with a guy? Oh, Jerry Stiller and his wife, Helen Mirren? No, was it Mirren?
Definitely not Helen Mirren.
No, Helen Mirren was that hot woman from Caligula, right?
What?
Who's Helen Mirren?
Like blonde,
Yeah.
older woman.
She's like that old British actress,
85
right?
years old,
She was
yeah.
like gorgeous when she was younger.
Oh, well, that's probably.
Helen Mira. No, wait, what? Ann Mira. Ann Mira, I think was Ben Stiller's mom and dad. They had a comedy.
That sounds about right.
George Burns and Gracie Allen. You're Gracie.
I don't know what you're talking
God
about.
damn it.
I wish you would speak English. I don't know.
I wish somebody on this show actually studied show business.
Ann Mira.
Ann Mira. I got it. Yes, I'm so wonderful.
How about Elaine to your Jerry?
Oh, there you go. Okay, fine. You're the Elaine.
I can
You
dance
dance
pretty
like
poorly.
Elaine. Yeah.
Sweet holy Moses.
You really do. I remember seeing you dance one time when you were doing.
Yeah.
You doing news or events first?
She's the gal who knows what's going on, so take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
Oh my God, they're taking this stuff. Oh, it's so unnatural, and this is going to look horrible, and this is bad, and how can they do that? That looks slippery, and this looks bad, and that's a bad color, and oh my God. Put that on a t-shirt. Holy hell.
All right, Ronnie Ronstadt, besides the sad news of Eric Money leaving us in the lurch, basically, what news do you have for us here?
So it's dawned on me I've never really actually done sidewalk conditions, but now that Devil's Den is open, the sidewalks are pretty damn nice. So
They
take
are.
that, people.
Yeah, take a lesson,
Yeah, take
Borough
that.
of Gettysburg.
Yeah,
Look at
'cause
what the park did up there and get those puppies. I mean, they're
Baltimore
probably
Street
not legal.
sidewalk leaves something to be desired.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, you know, when you have tree-lined streets, you're going to
Yeah.
have that problem
Yeah.
because the roots do their own thing.
The roots do their own thing, and then like the little cutouts for the water drainage that probably don't work.
Right.
They're all like, anyway.
Drainage is awful in this town.
It is.
I don't know what it is.
And it all funnels down to obviously the bottom of Baltimore when there is a heavy rain.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. But it doesn't go anywhere. It just stays there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the drainage, the drains themselves are just for show. I think they don't go anywhere.
Anyway.
I think they're just for show. Go ahead.
So, this is a story that I'm covering this week because I wasn't here last week, but it actually came out in early October. October 8th, the story broke that a man, Civil War reenactor from Virginia, was accused of planting a pipe bomb at a battlefield. And actually, there's a whole full-blown article that
I have it right
pretty
here.
much, well, I'm not using the Gettysburg Times.
All
I will cite WPXI out of Pittsburgh. They did a pretty comprehensive coverage of this. But basically the gist of it, I'm going to read most of this here. So Gerald Leonard Drake, 63, of Winchester, pleaded not guilty on Friday, so this would have been early October, to 15 indictments according to a news release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Virginia. Charges include mailing threatening communications, malicious use of explosives, possession of an unregistered destructive device, unlawful manufacture of a destructive device, use of explosives to commit a federal felony, and stalking. So the gist is this guy, back in 2017, was the one that actually was responsible for a pipe bomb that was found outside of the Cedar Creek battlefield during reenactment. He also was the one alleged to have sent some other threatening messages to Cedar Creek, as well as to the planners here in Gettysburg of one of the Remembrance Day parades.
Yep. I remember
Caused
that.
a lot of problems and anxiety and everything like that. Ultimately, they did... I guess they prosecuted him actually back in September. It just became unsealed here in October. But yeah, I mean, this guy, what the article is implying is that he had been a reenactor. He was basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he was kicked out of his reenacting unit in 2014. He got pissed off about it, then became a volunteer at Cedar Creek, and for whatever reason, decided to use that facility as the place where he was going to bring a pipe bomb.
Well, if I remember correctly, they told him to kick rocks for one reason or another, too.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this when the guy first got arrested, like, my God.
2018?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what's a little bit unclear. So he just federally got indicted now. Is that the idea? Or what, they didn't know who he was until...
like they finally did something with the case.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I remember very distinctly hearing about this when it first happened.
Yeah.
This article almost makes it sound like they just finally figured out who it was, though. Like that it wasn't.
No, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah, they were building a case against them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
But it
but
says,
Veronica, how long does it normally take? Because Eric and I were talking about this last week or week before. It seems like it took a long time for this to come to where it is now, but is that normal? It seems...
That just depends on the circumstances.
Right, okay.
I mean, obviously, if something is pretty clear cut, they're not going to waste much time doing, especially if the guy's dangerous. Like if he had access to a legit... where's the description of the explosive? I mean, It was a legit explosive. It wasn't just like a fake, like, oh, I'm going to... The pipe bomb contained metal nuts, a mercury switch, a battery, ball bearings, black and red wires, powder, and other items. I mean...
It's the black and red wires. That's going to get you.
Right. I mean, it looks real, right?
Yeah.
But, 2017. So, I mean, if it also says, it's kind of interesting, even back... I don't remember really... I don't know, maybe my timeline's all mixed up in my own head. But back in 2017, the letter was received for the Gettysburg Times and its offices. Yep. The letter and envelope both bore Antifa symbols and threatened violence if the parade went on as scheduled. Basically, the U.S. District Attorneys is saying this was that was a ruse, like basically to try to blame it on somebody else or to to just amp up the angst amongst the community.
Listen, I understand the people who are against Antifa. I understand why. I understand, I get it. What is so funny to me is how the people who are against Antifa do not understand Antifa. Like, there were the people that saw that fake poster about the cemetery thing and thought it was real, which, by the way, I guarantee you 90% of them knew it wasn't real, but they just wanted to make a stink and come here with their guns and play soldier, right? Sure. No, that's not, okay. Number two, now this guy, he's sending these letters pretending to be Antifa, and he's thinking, I'm throwing them off my scent, right? Yeah. But he clearly doesn't understand how Antifa operates. What the hell do they care about a parade in Gettysburg or Cedar Creek or any of this stuff? Yeah. It only matters to us. And when you're crazy and you're pissed off because you got kicked out of your reenactment group, then you're going to think that this is, it doesn't make any sense at all.
I remember when all this actually went down.
Yes.
Before they knew who it was.
Right.
And thinking, this doesn't make any sense.
But you did.
Because you're right. Who the hell?
That's what I'm saying. This article
outside of
outright
this
says that it took 5 years to build the case. So
I heard that dude's name.
Leads me to believe that he wasn't arrested.
I heard that dude's name 4 years ago.
It's interesting.
And I heard that whole story. And that's why it surprised me last week when it was in the newspaper, like it was brand new.
It was. I mean, he just got arraigned. He just got charged, according to this.
I don't know why it took him so long.
But you heard the name, Eric, through the reenacting community, right? Is what you're saying? Yeah. So people in the community knew. But legally, you got to do what you got to do in order to bring a case, right?
But you're right. Outside of that very specific community, who in the hell even knows that Cedar Creek has a reenactment every year?
Right.
Exactly.
Certainly
not Antifa.
Outside of South Central Pennsylvania, because it does get run in some of the newspapers, who the hell even knows there's a Remembrance Day parade?
Yeah.
Come on. It wouldn't be meaningful to the general public. Yeah, I understand.
If you're going to do something ridiculous like this, and it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck would you pick some really random, obscure, very specific events?
Yes. You also had things you had something to do with.
Yeah, and with the Remembrance Day parade, if I remember correctly, it was oh, we're gonna have snipers on the building.
Yes.
Who the fucking Antifa is a sniper?
Yeah.
Please tell me.
I know. I've seen pictures of Antifa holding guns and holding them backwards.
I mean that's what I remember about every single protest that ever involved Antifa was people had to serpentine through the streets to avoid getting gunned down by snipers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I know. You know how they love snipers in Antifa? All right, Ronnie, what else?
Yeah, that's anyway. I know it made a lot of noise on social media when this got announced because a lot of people it caused a lot of
You're
money.
making so much noise.
It cost money to they took extra precautions here to make sure that the parade was safe. They actually canceled the 2018 Cedar Creek reenactment because he continued to send threats. I mean,
I came back in 2018 and I remember the Remembrance Day parade. There were a lot of things that changed in the 8 years while I was gone. One of the things was the police went from looking like Barney Fife to Judge Dredd, like an occupying force as opposed to your neighborhood policeman, which was scary and sad because, number one. Number two, they had dump trucks blocking the intersection and those cement blocks, which they still use the cement blocks, but the dump trucks, I guess they got enough cement. I guess they had to do that because they were short of something that year.
Yeah, they didn't have enough blocks to actually
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not going to push up a lot. Yeah.
No, and so I was like, where have I come back to? Like, what's? And I didn't at the time. I didn't know it had to do with this.
Right.
I thought it was weird.
Yeah, even more recently, I remember the talk like a year or two ago. After it wasn't, I know it wasn't Charlottesville, but it was something similar. There was another parade that somebody just drove through and like hit the cheerleader grannies and all this other stuff. And it wasn't even it wasn't a terrorist. It was a guy like trying to get away from the police, like generically.
Yeah,
He
I
was just
remember that.
fleeing,
Right,
and he went down. And he killed a few people. He just drove through.
Yeah. So was that a 4th of July?
It was
parade?
something. It was something during the summer because the grannies were like, and there were like some high school kids or something. I remember that because Chief here was questioned about, come on, why do we need all this expense? It was right when everybody was complaining about the new added expenses for the different parade routes that were going to be delegated here.
Right.
And he was saying that's all well and good until you get a crazy person or someone out to be mischievous or someone with
and that is the great American tradition of closing the door after the horse gets away. We're like, oh, we don't need that now, and then we get bombed or something, and now it's like, why wasn't there any security?
Right.
The American people are so fucking stupid. I swear to God. It's like, come on, people.
Well, on to good news. So we have a new store in town. That's always exciting.
What?
Right? So it is a used record store. Did you hear
No,
about that?
shiza.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What? Where?
So it's called Sweet Repeat Records. This is not their first store. I believe they have one in Hanover, but don't quote me where the first one is.
All right.
But this is a new location on North Washington Street. They have hours Thursday through Monday, 11
Is it across
to 5.
from 7-Eleven?
I don't know.
I think it would be if
must
it's north.
That's
yeah,
the only place.
Yeah, in that building that was for sale.
It was just
maybe?
for sale, right
Yeah.
behind Food 101.
You okay? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Nice. I could walk there.
Yeah, kind of cool, right?
Very nice,
So something
yeah.
a little bit eclectic.
Now I need to get a
little bit
record
neat.
player.
There you go. They might sell them. Who knows?
Who knows? You can get them on Amazon really cheap now.
There you go. But congratulations and welcome to the new store. And also some other good news. It was officially announced, I guess, last week that the New Year's Eve celebration here in Gettysburg is back officially. So the
good.
Gettysburg Alive Facebook group put in about 9 months of hard work trying to get some funding and groups together to sponsor it. And there is going to be another New Year's Eve celebration this year. So very
That
exciting
is
stuff.
good because I love how we shut down the square. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
and the fireworks and everything. That's all
I
back.
don't know about fireworks, but definitely the square and everything like that. There is more information on Gettysburg Alive and also Destination Gettysburg's websites about.
The important thing is, are we allowed to walk around with open containers like we used to?
I don't know.
Fireworks are not cheap.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No.
Like my brother goes through this every year because he's the president of the Chamber of Commerce up home.
Right.
And like they try to raise $15,000 every year for fireworks. And every year they can't get anywhere near enough donations. And it ends up coming down to the wire like the last 2 weeks. And the Chamber of Commerce is like, we have to cancel the fireworks because nobody donated money.
Yeah.
And then people get all upset.
Oh my God! Yeah, they fly off the handle.
Well, it's like, well, give the money then.
Did you drop $5 in the fucking pot? No,
Right.
you didn't. Yeah. So what do you have to complain about? You know, and but every year somebody ends up footing the bill for it. Yeah,
it seems like at the last minute, all the little local communities have that.
And I told my brother last year, I was like, look, don't even do that. Like if you get down to this point next year, just cancel it.
Yeah.
If you cancel it 1 year.
Then people will pay next.
People will actually donate the next year.
Yeah.
But if somebody keeps bailing them out, like every June.
So like the local rich guy bails them out, makes up the difference, is what you're saying?
It's usually a business ends up donating. And like last year, it was like $10,000.
So they only really came up with $5,000.
They had a $10,000 shortfall.
Wow.
And they were like, there's no way we're going to make this up. And a business thankfully stepped in. But yeah, fireworks are not cheap.
No, they're not. No, not at all.
I'm trying to just confirm real quick to see if there's an actual announcement whether this does include fireworks. But I will get an answer obviously before.
Zabawa?
You got a couple of months.
Yeah, got a couple months here.
Yeah. Well, either way, whether there's fireworks or not, it is nice. They close the square.
Yeah.
And you can walk around freely, and it's just nice. It's very Norman Rockwell, and with pink hair and blue hair and stuff. But like otherwise, it's pretty Norman Rockwell.
Yep.
And I don't know. Something nice about it. Christmas trees up in the middle of the square.
And the fact that people from the community and just even on social media, like, came and did this themselves is pretty exciting, right? So if you're not a member of Gettysburg Alive, go ahead and check them out as well. It's a different website or page on Facebook. Pretty active
what is that?
group.
What do they do?
Basically, well, this was their big thing. They spearheaded bringing this back, but they also try to just get information out about what's going on in town, what, if there's a class at the Arts Council or if somebody wants to advertise something or whatever. So it's a really nice organization.
Okay, great. Good for them.
Gettysburg Alive. Other good news or pretty big news, I guess, in the history world, the Remembrance Day festivities, right, are going to include Harold Holzer, John Meacham, and Ellen Gelzo. So those three guys
Where?
are so at the rostrum in the cemetery. My understanding is Gelzo is the keynote speaker. Meacham is going to read the Gettysburg Address as well as give a little side information about that.
Now,
And
Meacham, I know that name, but I can't picture him.
he's
Where?
a national author. He wrote Andrew Jackson's biography, The Lion, or something. Big time author, scholar.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, because Gelzo. I know Gelzo
Yeah.
and Holzer.
Holzer, yeah, Harold.
Well, thank you. I've seen on TV a lot and stuff.
You
but-
would recognize Meacham for sure.
Okay.
And he's actually, I think the reason they got him this year is because, matter of fact, in October, he wrote, there's going to be a book coming out that he wrote about Gettysburg. About Lincoln. And that's the tie-in, obviously. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah, pretty exciting news for our little community again.
Some show. Oh, you're okay. Keep going.
No, that's okay.
No. Go
That's the new- that's
finish
the
up
news.
and then.
That's the news,
Oh,
and
that's
then-
news.
Yep.
All right. Well, so I'll do show news after you do it.
This weekend, where the action is. What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica, to fill you in.
It's all covered.
I wonder, the other thing is, who are you going to suffer in silence with when Eric's gone?
I know.
When that song plays, you both look at each other and go, God, this idiot. And then,
Is it over yet?
Yeah, it's like it never ends. He loves these stupid things.
This weekend, where the action is. What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend?
You know what you're like? You're like brother and sister when dad sings a song in the car, It's like, come on, kids, 99 bottles of beer on the wall. And you're in the back seat in the station wagon just rolling your eyes. We'll have to get you someone who hates me as much as Eric does so that you could...
It should be easy to find. I mean, they should be beating down the door. I don't know.
Oh, you're right. Oh, wait, look at all the messages coming in. Oh, my computer just shut down. Okay, so go ahead. What's going on this weekend?
So this weekend specifically, it is the last of a couple weekends that we have to catch the farmers market. They are done at the end of October. So if you're interested in
I haven't
fall
gone in a
stuff-
month.
So this is an aside. Chestnuts,
Roasting, I don't know.
just like legit chestnuts outside of the Italian ones you can get at like Giant or whatever. They're like, brought out-
imported.
Like, they are, right. But like the local, like homegrown chestnuts.
The ones that fall on your head?
Very, very, those are probably walnuts.
Oh, walnuts.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the walnuts.
But
The ones that they have at the Farnsworth House.
Walnuts.
Yeah, those are walnuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chestnut trees are kind of hard to find. Like I was surprised when we moved out here to the country. Like we even had chestnut trees here and there back home, but around here,
basically wiped out by a blight back in the 20s and 30s.
Right.
So like American chestnut almost doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
See,
however,
wait,
somebody
pause.
is-
Time out.
Yeah.
Who can we get that is going to know useless information like that? That is useful.
Nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that you can't replace.
You know what, Eric? I think, Eric, every time we do one of these shows, you have to be on the phone and just chime in whenever you have something like that.
Probably not.
See, I think a lot of
That was
people...
a knowing look this way.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I
So
interrupted
anyway,
you.
so yeah, you were talking about not having gotten there, but we were really excited to find that the Green Barn Farm, I think that's what it is, from New Freedom, PA, actually had local chestnuts. It's for sale at the farmers market. So we found some of those and stocked up and all kinds of goodies. So make sure you go out there, support them. This will be the last couple weekends that they are in this location because they're moving over to the rec park next year.
Yes.
So a different location. And,
Right.
Anyway, also this weekend on Saturday, the Antique and Vintage Outdoor Market at the outlets from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. Something specific to do this weekend, as well as, let me update you here on the specifics of the campfire talk on Friday this week is Ike in the Civil War with Dan Vermillier. Vermillier or Vermillier?
Vermillier.
I was going to say Vermillier.
I thought it was...
this one pronounces it Dan
Oh,
Vermillier.
no.
I think,
Yeah,
and the
Vermillier, and then...
Professor pronounces it Vermilion, right?
Right.
Yeah. all right.
Okay.
So anyway, that's at 6 o'clock on Friday. Again, Ike and the Civil War. On Saturday, Pickett's.
Pete Vermilion.
Yeah.
I was like, what is his first name? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
On Saturday at 6 o'clock, Pickett's Marines from 1922, Battle of Gettysburg with Nathaniel Bowder.
We did a show on that on Patreon
Yes.
a while
We sure
ago.
did. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The battle walks this week on Saturday, the 22nd, meet at the Warfield Tower for Captain Johnston's July 2nd sunrise reconnaissance with Troy Harmon.
Nice.
It doesn't matter.
On the 23rd, yeah, I remember that episode. On the 23rd, with John Nicholas, he's going to be doing the July 2nd General Hood's attack. So meet at the, I cannot read my writing. Oh, I think it's the Arkansas Monument, but I will confirm that. If not, go head over to the Gettysburg National
Go to the Parks website.
But yeah, so that's also stuff you can do this weekend. Always going to remind folks that the train station is still open to do virtual tours. The Children's Museum is open. I will remind people, if you're planning in advance, the Seminary Ridge Museum announced again they're going to be doing their 24 hours on the Ridge, starting on Wednesday the 2nd at 5 p.m., going through 5 p.m. on Thursday the 3rd. This is November.
Right.
So you can plan ahead. This year, they're going to have, again, guest speakers, including Jim Hessler and some others that we know, living historians. And this year, instead of the movie Gettysburg, they're screening Lincoln, which is kind of cool. I'm excited about that.
Which is going to be even harder to stay awake through because it's not an action-packed movie.
Yeah, you can't heckle that one.
Yeah,
really.
no, you can't because then you're in big
Good
trouble.
movie.
Oh, it's a great movie,
Yeah,
but it's not a. It's like last year we watched Gettysburg and heckled it the whole time and did a live stream on Instagram. People like that, but this year you can't do that with Lincoln.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you're starting a movie at like midnight,
that's the thing.
It's got to be one that you can interact with.
Yeah.
And you can't really do that with Lincoln. It's a great movie.
Oh yeah.
But like, I can't sit there and make fun of it for a couple of hours like I can with Gettysburg.
No.
Well, it has a Gettysburg
unfortunate.
connection outside of Lincoln. Obviously, Thaddeus Stevens is highlighted
Sure.
in it, and that was our good congressman.
Well, and it starts off with the soldier reciting the Gettysburg Address to him.
Which is inaccurate.
Of course it
You
is,
wouldn't have
but
known
that's
that,
Hollywood.
But anyway, still. I forgot. I apologize. So the Adams County Historical Society this Saturday is doing their own I think he's a licensed battlefield guide, but don't quote me on that. A tour from 1 to 3 regarding Camp Colt. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and see.
With who?
You have to sign up. You're going to ask me, and I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
It's something with a V.
If you say Vermilion or Vermilia, I'm gonna.
Verchuk or something like that?
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, but you do have to
check
sign
there.
up in advance for that one. So go head over to their website and sign up for that. And then just a reminder that the Halloween parade in town, if you're interested in that or have school age kids, is going to be on Tuesday the 25th with a rain date of Thursday the 27th. The Businesswomen Influencing Gettysburg is again proud to sponsor the Halloween parade. I believe this is the second year they've taken up the mantle for it. If you're interested in participating, meet starting at 5 p.m. to line up, with stepping off for the parade at 7:15 p.m. at the Gettysburg Middle School. So exciting stuff. I think that's why they have the barricades out, I'm assuming.
For the parade, yeah.
So that's coming up next week.
They seem to put them out way earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like they've been there for weeks.
Just like kind of hanging out.
Yeah. But then they'll stay there until after
Remembrance Day. I would
Remembrance
assume.
Day.
Right. Yeah. They're there for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
They might stay there or at least move. Well, who knows? Whatever. It's not important. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, last just little thing to keep in mind. We have struck up a friendship thanks to Matt's appearance at the Carnegie GAR Hall, the Captain SB GAR Hall. John Eric has graciously brought it to our attention that in April they're going to be hosting another of their symposiums. So if you are in the Western Pennsylvania area, or if you want to travel to Western Pennsylvania for a day full of lectures on Gettysburg 160, their symposium is titled "In Great Deeds on Great Battlefields." Saturday, April 15th from 8 to 4:30. You can go on over. You can find information about it on the Facebook page, the Captain SB GAR Hall. There's a link there, and there's a discount if you sign up, I believe, by December 1st. So I believe it's $55 if you sign up early, and it's $75 if you don't do the early bird. But it's chock full of presenters. Rich Condon, who's been on our show. I forget some of the other guys, but I recognize their names.
Yeah.
And you get to check out the hall with all the memorabilia and everything.
It's really a cool room. We talked about it last week a bit. Well, we talked about my experience. Actually, no, I put Donnie on trial. By the way, Donnie's son Miles. I've been getting a lot of emails about how funny that kid is.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. But yeah, I was basically putting Donnie on trial. I was blaming him for all the sins of Pittsburgh, like parking the wrong way on the side of the road and everything. I really would have asked you this stuff because, but you weren't here.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, yeah, we'll go over that. I haven't put the recording out yet. I started listening to it the other day, and then also you went and recorded our buddy Cameron down in Harper's Ferry, and I started listening to that to try to pull some moments out where he, so that we know what he's talking about and everything. I didn't get too far into either one because, well, Eric's leaving, and I have 30 more things to do now that we'll see how this whole show suffers. But
I'm not even going to try to volunteer because I don't want people to hold me to that. So.
Exactly. Well, I was going to ask you, but I'm like, I was going to ask you, but then I was like, well, first of all, she would have volunteered. She would have volunteered anyway, number one. And number two, I know all the other pots you've got fingers in. And I'm like, she just doesn't have room to do it. She barely has room to do the show, and that's just 2 hours a week, I
have some room. All joking aside, I'll try to help.
Well, I'd appreciate whatever you can do.
Emails can't be that hard, right?
I don't know. Well, it depends. When your brain is like taxed with everything else you got to worry about, yeah, it is. It's a nuisance. Because then you get
You're just not organized. Though.
Oh, I'm terrible.
I know.
I am terrible. I need somebody to organize me.
I'm not saying I'm any better, but I think if you could find someone that's actually like interested in being organized, who was you know what? I think it was Debbie. For I'm almost positive it was Debbie Jones when she came in for the. I'm almost positive for the anniversary. No, for the anniversary, and everybody was doing everything in the park service and cemetery, and like she literally had a spreadsheet.
Oh, really? Yeah. I hate spreadsheets.
Everything of what she, everything that was being offered, and then she would go, okay, well, at 10 o'clock, I don't have anything to do, so I have these four things to pick from.
I don't
know. She might.
Oh, no. I love people like that because I need people like that, but I can't, I wish I could do it, but it takes the joy out of life for me to have an itinerary. It takes the joy out of life for me to know what's going on ahead of time. I like to just go. Somebody says, hey, this is happening. I'm like, great, let's go. That's enjoyable. Planning
But there has to be a happy
Tanner family planner. It's just, it's too much for me.
I was going to try to find a link for the GAR thing, but you all can find it on your own. I'll make sure I get it and have a link up there. So it sounds like a neat thing. And we have some listeners. I know, actually, shout out to Mike Pellegrini. He's the one that turned me on to the symposium, through the link. I went ahead and got my ticket, and then John Eric reached out to me saying, hey, just saw you sign up for your ticket. Can't wait to have you, but you want to promote it, and you want to maybe come out here and do a live recording. So that would be pretty cool, too. So
yeah, we're gonna do something. I don't know. We're talking about a bunch of things. What I would like to do is go out there to record a live show with Rich Condon to talk about Pittsburgh during the invasion, because we did Brandy Station from Brandy Station. It'll come out next year, and we're talking about doing a live show in Winchester to talk about Second Winchester. But that's all here there. But anyway, I'd like to do more pre-battle shows for the anniversary this season or next season. But anyway, show news that's more immediate. We've got a bunch of shows coming out. I don't remember the order, but just look forward to, I call it Ladies' Choice. It's top 5 books. Now, we recorded this while you were down with Cameron. But we had, we had Sue Boardman, Deb Novotny, and Jesse Weedleton on, and they gave us their top 5 books on Gettysburg, and we had fun with them. And what else do we have? We have the Gettysburg Address, which I'm really looking forward to this one because I think this was. I don't know. I think it was just a really good analysis of the address, and we literally broke it down sentence by sentence. What is he saying, and all that, and what are the not the trick necessarily, but what are the devices and techniques he's using here to pull the audience along and everything. Cool. So I think people who really want to get into that stuff would enjoy that. What else, man? We've got a lot. Brad Godfrey.
I was just going to say, I was a little bit behind on my Patreon listening, but I had a little bit of traveling to do yesterday and knocked out Brad's
Antietam and Gettysburg comparison.
It was a really good interview, and I actually grabbed a copy of the book anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of get into it. It's kind of
I like it. I've been when I have time, I'll read a couple pages of it and everything, and it's pretty good. So we had him on for that. That's already out on Patreon, but I had him back again, and he brought another town guide. We did an Ask a Town guide
with Roseanne, yeah.
with Rose. That's right, Roseanne Zyko, and they did. Both of them did great. I love when Brad's on. I love talking to Brad. He's a very easy guy to talk to for me, and Roseanne was very good.
Yeah.
I found out during our break when we were recording that she actually worked in radio for a while, so that's why she was so good at this. So there's that, and oh my god, I can't even remember all the things that we have.
I know this isn't exactly show news, but that reminds me talking about books.
Yeah, Ty Sigilly, that's another one. Go ahead.
Nice, that'll be exciting. Just a reminder that the Addressing Gettysburg Book Club is getting ready to start the new book. It's Troy Harmon's All Roads Led to Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, yeah.
Gettysburg. It was supposed to start this Wednesday, but there were some people that needed to get the book, and Steve had some stuff with his daughter that needed to be rescheduled, et cetera, et cetera. So we are not starting until November now. So if you're interested, it's not too late. And even if you don't have the time to read the book, come to the book club. Like there's a lot of things you can just listen.
Yeah.
So if you're interested and you're not already subscribed to the email list, shout out Steve at Addressing Gettysburg Book Club at gmail.com. So that's Steve Byers. You don't even have to just say, hey, add me to the list. But Addressing Gettysburg Book Club at gmail.com.
Speaking of Troy and that book, I bumped into him at Sheetz last week, and I said, oh, hey, Troy.
And he was like, who are you?
No, he knew who I was.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. I didn't know how famous you were.
No, I knew him before I was famous.
Okay, sorry.
And I said, say Troy, whatever. He goes, absolutely. So
nice.
I got that set up. I just have to finalize it and everything. So that'll take another 6 months.
Yeah.
But so Troy Harmon, look for him on the show soon. Together on Monday night, and we're gonna try our first spin-off show.
Yeah.
Called That's What She Said, and it's we're gonna take it's you girls you're running it
out of the way.
Yep, gladly. But yeah, so you're going to take a woman, let's say for example Sarah Broadhead, and I don't know, maybe on one episode you want to talk just what she writes about on June 26th, and then go into with a guide or someone what was going on June 26th and everything, and it's going to be obviously from a woman's perspective, and we're going to use the words of the women who experienced not only the Battle of Gettysburg but the Civil War in general.
Yeah.
Like we'll do an episode on Mary Chestnut, and a lot of interesting women.
Spies, all
Spies.
Kinds. There were soldiers,
Oh yeah,
there were female soldiers. I'm actually super excited about this.
Good.
I really am.
Because during the meeting, you seemed like you were trying to weasel out of it.
No, I just it's going to be some work, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, and but I think this can go a lot of fantastic directions, and I think we were talking even about like what women faced, right? Like what roles did they play? What issues were going on when the guys were off to war? There's just all kinds of just fascinating women. Sally Myers, Elizabeth Thorne. I mean, everybody we can get into as a person. I am just, and Bethany. My God, this is going to be fun.
Bethany's great. She's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's going to first appear on Patreon. We're going to put one of those out a month for the next year, and Patreon's kind of our proving ground for a lot of new ideas. And if the patrons enjoy it and we get a lot of positive feedback, which I'm pretty sure they will, then it'll start to go out once a month on the free feed. It'll be a year behind. We'll put out the Patreon episodes next year on the free feed and stuff, but there will be new shows. So it'll always be a year behind. So it behooves you to join Patreon for many reasons. But if you're interested in that, obviously you'll get them fresh off the press. And I'm looking forward to that too. And honestly, you say it'll be some work in it, but this is the beauty of if you just stick with the format that I've set up, there's very little work that you have to do. Honestly. Okay, no, I do a lot of work because I edit it and everything like that, but you're not going to have to do that. I'm going to do that still.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, you just, if you're doing a book on, let's say, Sarah Broadhead's June 26th entry, not the whole diary, just the 1 day entry, it's like a 3-second read. And then all you got to do is just formulate some questions, and and you're pretty good at off the cuff conversations, so I'm sure it'll go into great. And Bethany is too.
Yeah.
And please, it'll be fine.
It's just a lot of other information and different avenue. I really am. You can have it on the record. I'm really excited about this. I really am.
There it is on the record. Yeah. All right, good.
Yeah. And I know I get the vibe that you and I are both trying to stretch this out as long as possible because it's hard to say
We
goodbye.
don't want Eric to leave. Now, Eric, give everybody an idea. When is your last Addressing Gettysburg Live? Is it going to be next week or today or what? I don't even know this.
Probably today.
I didn't see that coming.
How do I
listen?
say goodbye?
You fuckers stretch this out so much. I'm not doing this again.
He even let those little kids touch his pretty extended nipples.
7:08.
No, we stretched this out, but next week, if you're on next week, it's not going to be stretched out because next week we actually have 2 guests lined up. We've got the gentleman from the Seminary Ridge Museum, and also Eric Dorr is coming from the Gettysburg Museum of History, and he's going to bring some of his more macabre items at the museum that you can go and see because it is Halloween. After next Friday, so we want to do something in the spirit of the season, and of course we all know Reese's is the season for the reason of this reason. Okay, I screwed that up. Never mind. And then also, by the way, December 10th is our little Christmas party at Sweeney's Tavern for sure. Now, now listen, I want to explain this to y'all. I truly believe that it's kind of like a patron appreciation show.
So you're paying for it?
Well, in a perfect world, that's what would happen. Whoa. But this isn't a perfect world. And with the departure with the departure of Eric, we've already lost half of our patrons. So that's certainly not going to be the case now. But what we were able to do is convince the Farnsworth House to close Sweeney's Tavern and allow only our people to come in. You're going to have to pay your own bill. There's nothing special except that you get to hang out with all of the Gettys nerds that you know. And we get the whole room to ourselves. I'm going to invite several of the guides that are frequent guests on the show, so you could probably rub elbows with them and get to talk to them and meet them. And I'm sure they'll appreciate meeting you guys as well. It's going to start. We've promised them 50 people. It's going to start with patrons signing up. So if you're a patron, stay a patron so that when we release the link and everything, you can go and sign up. It's free. There's no cover or anything like that. It's just free. Minus
the part where you have to pay your tab.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to pay your own tab, but there's nothing we're charging. This isn't a fundraiser for us. This is we want to get together and meet you guys. If we don't get 50 patrons signing up for it, then we're going to open it to the public for whatever the difference is. So, so it would behoove you to become a patron because it might be, I don't know. I don't know how many of our patrons are close enough to do it, so we'll see. And of course, January 28th, a night at the museum, and that's going to be a live show recording at the Seminary Ridge Museum. Tickets will go on sale in December, maybe mid to late November, early December. But that'll be fun. We're going to have the cupola, the whole museum really to ourselves. And we're going to, it's probably going to be a thing where like you go get your own dinner, do whatever. We're not going to do anything like that, but we'll just have like coffee and dessert there for the show. And then, we'll have the run of the place and then we'll do the show and blah, 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 blah. So that should be fun. So we got some winter events to get to know you guys, get you guys out of the house a little bit so that you're not all getting cabin fever and what not. So Eric, really, is this your last one or are you going to do one more next week?
It's probably, I still got to pack my house. So
yeah. But when you don't have a deadline for when you're leaving, do you?
I don't have a hard date yet. We have like a 1 week window that we want it to be.
What's that? What week is that?
None of your fucking business.
Why is that none of my business?
This goes back to the conversation we've had about me being a very private human being.
But what's the difference?
And there's this is being published to YouTube.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, all right. I don't understand. There's something I'm missing, but okay. You can tell me privately so that I'll know. Okay, got you. All right.
I texted it to you.
I understand. That's right. I'll just go back and look to refresh my memory.
He ignores you too? Okay, that's good to know.
Bullshit.
No, I just can't remember everything.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
No, I just need to know because, there are people that have volunteered to help and I need to know when to let them come in. So that's
Where are we getting food?
Home.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever you want. I don't care.
Okay.
Where I'm not really hungry, but I'll go.
No, forget it.
I had a bite of this protein bar, so I'm wherever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I need something light. What can we get that's light?
Salads.
Sushi. We go to sushi somewhere. I don't like sushi. I love sushi. Well, all right.
Anyway, we'll figure it out.
If this is in fact Eric's last show, we bid you a fond adieu, Eric. Thank you very much. Honestly, Eric, thank you for everything you've done for me. I mean, you really have been a huge help. You really have. Look me in the eye.
Yeah.
Look me in the eye. You have been a huge help.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, now break eye contact.
Okay, bye.
That was a little awkward. It's like when you stand next to him at a urinal and he makes eye contact. It's very strange. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Kiss Eric goodbye, and we will see you next week. Don't worry. We'll muddle through somehow. See you next week.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Produced by Eric, the producer, Moni. Applause led by Owen the Clabber. Guests of Addressing Gettysburg Today stay wherever they want. That's not our concern. To be a guest on the show, Gettysburg broadcasts from the Gettys Bike Tour Studios. Get a 15% discount on your next tour with Gettys Bike. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg Today. Thanks for listening.
There were many Union men who wept with joyful tears when they saw the honored flag they had not seen for years. All got out of me straight from breaking forth in cheers. Why?